one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2-3. 1, 2, 3. Finish.
You view this season as a failure?
Oh my God. Okay, because I'm not that up. You asked me the same question last year, Eric. Okay. Do you get the promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Yes or no? No. Every year you work towards something, towards a goal, right? Which is to get a promotion, to be able to take care of your family, to be able, I don't know, provide the house for them or take care of your parents. You work towards a goal. It's not a failure. It's steps to success.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps cause they know what happens next. So without further ado,
free smoke.
Look, scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much or how you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo, if they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers. Been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer. My sound not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa Bars forever, like they decided to throw me under Slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhanders. I could drop 1,000,000 songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1,100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our block, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
Winning has a price. And leadership has a price. So I pulled people along when they didn't want to be pulled. I challenge people when they don't want to be challenged.
Welcome to Kicking It with Saint. I appreciate the likes, the subscriptions, the comments. My guy Henry, you that dude. All the support on the videos. I got on here tonight thinking we was gonna talk about, I gotta talk to y'all about the Hawks game. My guy Ice Trae dotting them between the eyes, taking them to a game 6. There's a lot of things we gotta talk about. Before we get into any of the games, I want to talk about something that I just saw in the post-game interview, and I'm pretty sure you had to have heard it to start the show, and that's the Giannis Antetokounmpo quote. And this shit was hilarious to me when I watched it, because a reporter asked him, did he consider this a failure because they got knocked out? And Giannis's immediate response, just like putting his hand, like just face palming, like, bro, are you serious, bro? Did you really just ask me that? And one of the best responses I've ever heard. He could have, shouted and just gave him straight attitude and didn't answer the question and told him it was a stupid question. Instead, I like how he broke it down. Like, bro, you don't get promoted every year at your job. Do you consider that a failure? Do you consider yourself a failure? Every year is steps to success that you take. It's steps that you take to get to where you want to get to. And in every single turn, you don't always win the ultimate prize. It's steps. Like he said about Jordan. Jordan played however many years. He won 6 titles. Did all those years he didn't win a title, would you consider him a failure? Was those failures? Like, listen, bro, you talking to somebody who is big on championship. I understand about. I hate that people try to devalue championships. But more than hating people devaluing championships is when people, for some reason, can't understand the difference between team accomplishments. And I understand we give individual players a lot of praise for being able to lead and help lead teams to championships. But at the end of the day, to call a season a failure, to call a player's career a failure or his season a failure because they didn't achieve the ultimate goal, y'all really got problems. And it's like I say, bro, for some reason, when it comes to athletics, y'all seem to just go stupid for some reason. Like y'all lose all type of logic and things of that nature. And I swear I can't understand it for the life of me. Like, but I agree with what Giannis said, bro. Like, I understand the concept of we didn't win a championship, so obviously we didn't get to where we wanted to get to this year. But to say that was this a failure, it's steps to success. Like he said, there are steps to being great. It don't all just happen at once. Not to mention, people act as if Giannis did not lead a team to a championship and win finals MVP. And as if he ain't a multi-time MVP winner in the regular season. As if he ain't one of the best players in NBA history. If he ain't one of the best players in the league right now. And for all the people out there who saying, oh, it's a number one seed. Bro, Giannis legitimately missed 3 games. And somehow, because this ain't LeBron James, and even the Steph Curry fans who unrealistic out there, for some reason you hold these ridiculous, and those KD fans, for some reason y'all go at Giannis crazy. Bro, I'm almost certain you won't find a bigger Jimmy Butler fan than me. But like I said, I picked Milwaukee to win this game when they started off no games played, going into the series, both teams healthy. As soon as Giannis got hurt, my pick switched immediately to Miami. Not because I think Miami is a good team. Miami is still, to me, probably the most flawed team in the playoffs. However, when you got that guy, when you got a player of the caliber, I don't care how you feel about Jimmy Butler, bro, during the regular season or whatnot. All I know is he make players better. He the rising tide that lifts all boats. He done led a team to a finals appearance. He is that guy. It's no way I'm taking a team that ain't got Giannis on it over a team that's got Jimmy on it. Can't do it. Can't do it. I don't care how much the media try to tell you that the Bucks is a great team, which is, I'm so happy I can lead into this point. You keep telling me how great the Bucks is, and I keep saying that I hope Giannis end up off of the Bucks, because as much as he want to say he loved the Bucks, I'm happy you love the Bucks. But I don't agree with being loyal to a franchise and to a team just because you don't want fans to go against you, bro. If the Milwaukee Bucks don't build a proper team around Giannis, and I hate it when people say, well, look at how successful they've been. Nobody complained about it. Then listen, bro. Every year things change. Just because you choose not to address things not changing on a team because of how great Giannis is, that's not my problem. They should have replaced Chris Middleton 2 years ago. Drew Holiday, as great as he is not a consistent scorer of the ball. So it's good. And I can't understand for the life of me how we keep letting this head coach get away with not making in-game adjustments. How do you continue to let Jimmy Butler go off on you like this and not put Giannis on him? And not to mention, Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the best defenders in the league, on ball defense. Excuse me. On ball defender, off ball defender. For some reason, you won't allow him. Bless me. You won't allow him to go defend Jimmy one-on-one. You keep you want him to continue to be like a Draymond Green type of defender. But that's not what the game requires right now. The Warriors, when they understand somebody going off, they put Draymond on them. I don't understand why you would have. Chris Middleton couldn't stop him. Drew couldn't stop him. Jay couldn't stop him. Jay Crowder. Nobody you put on him could stop him. You know who probably could have gave him a tough time? Excuse me for my throat right now. Pause. Giannis. But he chose not to do that. And I understand Giannis is hurt. But if he's going to be out there, I'm pretty sure he, like the coaches, should understand if you out there is certain moments that our season is on the line. I got to put you on Jimmy. It's just as simple as that. But instead of doing that, you continue to let Jimmy Butler just sauce up Drew Holiday. I'm so confused. This remind me of like the NFL when you got head coaches who just refuse to make in-game adjustments, like the Chargers head coach. Bless me. And don't even get me, so you know I do this NFL thing. I could go down the list of these head coaches that refuse to make adjustments, but I don't understand how Mike Budenholzer keep getting away with this, like refusing to make in-game adjustments on Jimmy Butler. Bless me. It'd have been one thing if Miami had 2-3 different players going off. And shout out to Bam for finally having. Bless me. If you listen to me, you know I say all the time, bro, if Bam could just give them something, bro. Well, he had a triple-double tonight. And he done had pretty decent games the last, 3 games. So, shout out to Bam, bro. Thank you. But also, shout out to whoever got into Jimmy Butler's ear and said, you got to be more aggressive, bro. You got to look to score every single time down the court. Don't worry about everybody else getting their shots. If everybody else could do what you do, they would be getting the ball. The fact is they can't. So they ain't the one dropping 56 points. You need to get the ball. You need to score. We work best off of you being able to do what you do. And so I like that game plan, because if they had Jimmy stay passive in this series would still be going on. And understand this. Giannis just had a 40-20 night, basically, bro. That's insane. This dude Giannis is out of his mind. And listen, apologies for all the sneezing, bro. If you're somebody who really irritated with the sneezing, I hope it's over in the next couple minutes. But another one is coming in the next couple seconds. So, you know, it just is what it is. I don't know what this is. I don't know where the sneezing just randomly came from. I promise you. I would have got this out the way before I got on. I'm not even sick. So the fact that I'm just stuffy because I was in a room full of smoke earlier today with incense burning, and I hadn't got that clogged. I haven't got my systems, freshed until like an hour ago. And now it's all starting to take effect. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, the Milwaukee Bucks, I can't really hold too much against the team altogether, though, because they did not have their best player for 3 games of this series. But with that being said, the Milwaukee Bucks are headed home. I do think that Giannis, they need to figure out how to truly build around Giannis. If Giannis not going to be the dude defending your your outside dudes all the time, you need to go get a dude who can defend the outside. And I thought Jay Crowder could do that. Clearly he couldn't. And how do you get dudes in Milwaukee? You just going to have to overpay some dudes, because to me, I keep saying it, bro. When you got players like Giannis, he make a lot of players look way better than they actually are. And a lot of the role players on this team, to me, are not as great as they perform. But when you have Giannis Antetokounmpo, and they play great team ball during the regular season, but the regular season is one thing. One thing I think they made a mistake on is letting Dante DiVincenzo walk in the offseason. I thought they was going to bring him back. I thought he was actually one of their better role players. I like Dante DiVincenzo. To me, he do a lot of good for a team, especially since he come off the bench. I don't know why they got rid of him. He an athletic dude who can shoot a little bit. Well, not a little bit. He can shoot it more than a little bit, but he can shoot the 3. He can get to the rim. He can finish at the rim. He great at getting people the ball. He not selfish. He not a black hole when you get the ball. He do what he need to do to help the team win. I thought that was a great piece to have, especially if you had him and Grayson Allen coming off of the bench at the same time. Not to mention Dante DiVincenzo actually tries to play defense. I'm not going to get on here and tell you he's some great defender, but he actually tries on defense. So you got a lot of dudes who come in and don't try on defense. They just be out there running around doing a bunch of cardio, trying to make it seem like they doing shit on defense. And then how can we not talk about the New York Knicks getting it done against the Cleveland Cavaliers? They move on. They take just 5 games to beat them. And an unbelievable collapse by Cleveland. But I was talking to somebody today who not a real big Donovan Mitchell fan. So I got to actually pick apart what he's saying, because he will say some shit just because he ain't really a fan of Donovan Mitchell. But I do kind of start agreeing with people. I am starting to lean towards more so of Donovan Mitchell, just from what we can see on the court and whatnot, might not be the greatest leader at the moment. And I think that'll come with time, him knowing how not to just get his buckets in the game, but to help others get their buckets and to have constant confidence. Because I don't think he a bad leader. I'm just never going to agree that he a bad leader. He's just not the leader that they need right now that can get a team to where they need to go. But I do think he can get there. But I also think Donovan Mitchell has yet to play with a phenomenal wing player. Playing with a great wing player just changes shit. Like, look at Devin Booker with Kevin Durant. Look at Donovan Mitchell has never played with a player the caliber of a Kevin Durant. He ain't never played with an Anthony Davis type of player. So it's hard for me to really go too hard at Donovan Mitchell, because I don't even think Cleveland was ready for this moment. Like, people say, oh, they collapsed, but bro, they just had a real great season. We really didn't expect that. They stayed healthy more so than most teams, and that's what you see a lot. Sacramento was healthy for most of the season. So I'm not, and I understand people like, well, the Knicks haven't been to the playoffs. They this was new to them. Well, not really, because Jalen Brunson made a big run in the playoffs last year with Dallas. The Knicks did make the playoffs 2 years ago with Julius Randle and them boys. And Jalen Brunson, they just didn't have an answer for him. And Jalen Brunson is, like, to me, one of the biggest shocks of the offseason, as far as, like, they definitely got a deal on Jalen Brunson. And it's amazing that Dallas was willing to let a player like this go. But Jalen Brunson, in my opinion, should have left Dallas regardless, because he was never going to be allowed to be this type of player in Dallas. It was no way the full extent of his game was going to be allowed to be shown in Dallas with Luka Doncic. It just wasn't going to happen. And maybe that's a problem that you're going to have to figure out in Dallas. Can a player truly play their full game playing with Luka? Because Jalen Brunson wasn't going to be able to be this. Like, Jalen Brunson, to me, is definitely the best player on this team. But I also think people don't give enough credit to the fact that Tom Thibodeau is a great head coach to me. Not to mention, this is a good roster when you actually look at the full roster. Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett, Obi Toppin, what's my man coming off the bench? Quickly, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, who I just think is, Josh Hart to me is one of the best role players in basketball, bro. He defends, he rebounds, he sells out for the team, he hit the three, he can hit the mid-range, he can finish at the paint. Like, I love Josh Hart. Now, it could be a big bias because he was a Laker for a long time, but I love Josh Hart. I just think when you think about the top bench players, role players in the league, Josh Hart on the right team would be a 6th man of the year. He just really haven't been given the opportunity to be the 6th man of the year on any team he done played for. But if given the opportunity, I truly believe Josh Hart could be a 6th man of the year. If he get more efficient with his scoring, knowing that he got limited opportunity, but I just don't know how you limit Josh Hart's minutes because he do so many things well on the court. Like I said, this is a big bias type of situation because I just absolutely love Josh Hart. But to me, Josh Hart, don't let him become even better shooting the three, because then it's going to be hard to get him off the court with how he played doing everything else. Like, Josh Hart to me is just a guy who you want to have off your bench. And it helps that Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson played together at Villanova. It's always going to be fucked them when they was at Villanova because they beat my guys in North Carolina. But, hey, I love it. And shout out to the Knicks. Like I said, I'm happy the Knicks won this series. I picked Cleveland, but I wanted the Knicks to win, so I'm so happy I was wrong in that series. And when I look back on this pick, I'm not really ashamed of the pick. It's more so I should have took into more account that these Cleveland Cavaliers might not have been ready compared to Jalen Brunson doing what he did and his impact of the team. I will make sure I take that into account the next round. Because, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I probably got the Knicks, and excuse me, I probably got Knicks Heat going 7 games. I'm probably going to pick Miami, even though I do not think they are a better team than the Knicks. But it's just hard for me to pick against Jimmy Butler. When the best player on the opposing team, in my opinion, isn't better than Jimmy Butler. I picked Giannis because Giannis and the Bucks is a better team than the Heat, and they have the actual better player. The Knicks got the better team, but they ain't got the better player. Last year, the Celtics had the better team. They didn't have the better player in the finals. So, I'm probably going to pick Miami in that series, but I don't know yet. That's why I got time to think about it till all the second rounders is set in stone. But we got to also talk about my guy Trae Young, Ice Trae. And the Atlanta Hawks getting that thing to Game 7. My man walked right into the Boston Garden. Walked right over the Leprechaun. Said, clear it out for me. Jaylen Brown in my face. Dotting them between the eyes for the dub. It's nothing to me. Ice Trae is in the building. Listen. Y'all gonna have to learn one way or another, bro. I don't just rock with players for no reason, bro. When I get on here and I go hard for a player, it's for a reason. Jimmy Butler, Trae Young, Steph Curry. Y'all gonna learn with Lonzo one day. But most of the players who hills I die on, it's for a reason, bro. Y'all keep talking crazy about my guy Trae Young, and I really don't get it. I'm gonna be dead ass with you. I do not understand the Trae Young hate and whatnot. Like I saw a report that said the Hawks no longer want to trade Trae Young. The fact that I told you before, the fact that they ever wanted to trade Trae Young was just fucking stupid to me. Like, Trae Young has been every single thing you would want him to be since he done been drafted. Can he get better in other areas? Yes. But it's players who is legit set in stone Hall of Famers, top 10 players all time who can still get better at different things. Like, I don't understand why we have these weird, ridiculous problems with one player, but not with other players. Like, Trae Young is everything you could want him to be at this point in his career. As he get more into his career, obviously you would hope he would get stronger, get a bigger frame. But the man is the size he is. He is the height he is. And he is doing apps. I would say he done, for the frame he got, he done outperformed what you would think somebody as small as him would do. In every way. He is a big man and he a small man with a big ass game. In the room full of 6+ footers, 6-7 footers and shit. He go into your building. He went into New York, in the Mecca, and took a bow after he sent them boys home. Now he going to the Boston Garden. Walk over Lucky the Leprechaun and dot Jaylen Brown right between the fucking eyes. You gonna learn to respect Trae Young. You gonna learn to respect Ice Trae. No DeJounte Murray. Didn't need him, respectfully. My boy said on the road, back against the wall, when to go home. I got it. Put your faith in me, and I will get us there. That motherfucker Trae Young, boy. Shout out to Trae. Shout out to Ice Trae. And now, obviously, we got to talk about these Memphis Grizzlies, who wouldn't do no interview when they was losing. But, of course, you know they did the interviews tonight after they beat the Lakers at home. It's a funny team. I take nothing out of this game. LeBron was tired. We made a lot of different pushes. After these dudes, the Grizzlies went on like a 19-2 run in like a minute and a half, bro. I literally looked down, was rolling, looked back up, and bro, these dudes up by like 20 points. I say, what happened? You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, let me go ahead and change this to the Miami game, bro. Let me get it going. I said, because this is ridiculous. It's just one of them nights, man. You chalk it up to one of them nights. Because listen, they was hitting a lot of ridiculous layups. They hit a lot of big. Desmond Bain like to talk shit about other players having out-of-body games. He had an out-of-body game compared to what he been doing in this series. I take nothing from it. AD had a big game. LeBron just, wasn't able to. He was tired, The man still, 38? We fine. We going to close it out when we get back to L.A. Believe that. Now, if we lose, going back to L.A., that's a tough one. Because I'm going to be honest with you. If the Lakers have to go 7 games, considering the Warriors just beat the Kings in Sacramento tonight, and it's a good chance the Warriors can close it out at home, it's no guarantee, though, because I have a lot of faith in Sacramento. Like, Sacramento is a great team. That is a great team from what I've been watching. I done watched every game with the Warriors. They done been in every single game, except for one. But even in that one game, they just a couple shots away from being in that game. But Sacramento a tough out. And regardless if they win, Golden State win in this series, the Lakers going to have a tough time regardless in this next round if they have to go 7 games against against Memphis. So the Lakers need to go ahead and close this game out, especially considering I think the series going long for 2 teams, I think, could hurt 2 teams, the Suns and the Lakers. Because with Phoenix, you have to rely on your starting lineup because your bench really ain't going to give you nothing. So you do not want them having to play long series that go longer than they should. And for the Lakers, with LeBron James and AD always having a threat of being hurt and whatnot, but LeBron, because of his age, you don't really want them playing long series. But everybody else, you don't really mind a long series. You don't really think it do too much to the team. For Golden State, a long series you feel like helped them because they haven't even had this whole team together for most of the year. And now they getting this whole team together and they trying to get chemistry while the playoffs going. So, and then the Sacramento with young legs, they can run for days. Denver, they not an old team. They can run for days. So it's really just 2 teams who I think would be hurt the most from series going longer than they have to go. Like when you have a team down, you got to put your foot on their neck if you the Lakers and the Phoenix Suns. So the Lakers have to finish this series off in LA next game. If they lose next game and they go to a game set, and it would just confuse the hell out of me if they lose next game, because for them to lose next game, LeBron and AD would just have to play like shit. It's as simple as that. It's no 2 ways around it. They would just have to play like shit. Because there's no way the role players would be good enough to beat Memphis if LeBron and AD both struggle. And that would just confuse the hell out of me. And then I can't even fathom them going to a game 7 and losing that shit right now after going up 3-1. So I'm not even going to let my mind drift to that. But with that being said, I do appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. You can be anything in the world. Choose to be kind to somebody today. Saint out.
You view this season as a failure?
Oh my God. Okay, because I'm not that up. You asked me the same question last year, Eric. Okay. Do you get the promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Yes or no? No. Every year you work towards something, towards a goal, right? Which is to get a promotion, to be able to take care of your family, to be able, provide the house for them or take care of your parents. You work towards a goal. It's not a failure. It's steps to success.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, she know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy, scoop her up like I'm raking the something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber, you out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.